Hi, I'm Laura. Welcome to my homestead kitchen. Today I want to show you how to turn these beets into this. So we're going to can these up. I'll show you how to peel them and can them so that you can store them in your pantry for your winter use as just a yummy vegetable. Also at the end of the video, I'll show you a recipe so that instead of just having your beets as a vegetable, there is a nice sauce you can put with these that is super delicious that everyone in the family likes. So come along with me and let's can up some beets. So the first thing you want to do when you have beets, I had this big box of beets given to me. So a lot of them like this are just ready to go. The leaves are cut off. If you have beets with the leaves on like this, you're just going to get close to the beet and trim that leaf off. You don't want to get too far into the beet or trim this off at all, the root end off, because if you put it in your pot of water, it's going to leach out a lot of the red that's in the beet. So you want to leave it as whole as possible. So we're going to fill our pots with water, try to get the same sizes of beets in each pot. So like smaller ones we'll put in one pot, bigger ones like this we'll put in the other pot. And we're just going to fill that with water and boil it until the beets are soft and we can peel them. So let's do that. Okay, so we have our beets in here and we're just going to fill this with hot water. So just so that the beets are covered, and then these have to cook for quite a while. So you're going to cook them for like, it might take us 2 hours to cook them, but I'll let you know. The smaller ones obviously will cook faster. I really like doing this when it's colder out so that I can just put this on the wood stove for the day and let it cook, but it has been so warm. It's been such a warm October that is just not possible this year. I have stored beets in the root cellar before just because I know they're a root vegetable and they'll keep, but they take such a long time to cook. I prefer having them canned so that I can just have a fast vegetable to have with our meal. And then if you store them in the root cellar and then you're like, well, I'll just cook these later and deal with them when I have time and then peel them. For some reason, after storing, you cannot get the peels off easily at all. You have to literally just peel them with a peeler. So let's cook these up and we'll see you in a bit. Okay, so these beets have been boiling for about 2 hours. My small ones are done. I actually haven't checked the big ones yet. Definitely not quite, maybe another hour. Anyway, the small ones are done, so we can dump them out now and get them in cooled water, cooling down so that the kids can peel them. Now, I know these are done because when you stab them, your fork goes right through, and so the peels are going to be loose on these, so that's great. And they are soft. You could eat them if you wanted. I'm going to try not to burn myself here. Now I'm just going to fill this sink with cold water, put the beets in there so that they can get peeled. Now we'll let them cool down for a bit and then I'll show you how to peel them. Okay, so Kate's going to peel these beets for us. Hopefully they're not too hard and the peel comes off easy enough. They were kind of like soft, so I don't know how fresh they are really. The peel should slip off fairly easy for us. I don't know if we're going to have a hard time with this. Anyway, we'll put the peels in this bowl and we'll put the done beets in here for me to chop up. And Kate will just work away at this for a while. They actually don't seem that easy to peel, you guys. That sucks. The peel kind of comes off. I don't know if you could see.
This one came off easy.
Oh, you got an easy one? Yeah. So you want to see, like, the peel kind of comes off? But definitely a messy job. Kate's gonna have purple hands for the day. Okay, so Kate has all of these peeled. She ended up using literally a peeler. They must have been a bit older beets, not as fresh, because they were hard to peel. I hope that if you follow this recipe, you will not have a hard time like we did peeling these. So one thing I hate about doing canned beets is sometimes they just suck. Just time consuming. But I do love beets. Probably like one of my favorite vegetables. So this other pot is done cooking. Some of my kids love beets and others don't. My husband Ed doesn't like beets. He'll eat them if he has to. I love beets, and then some of my girls love beets too. So let me know in the comments if you are a beet lover. I'm assuming you are if you're watching this video. Okay, so we got our sink full of beets here. The kids have them all peeled up for me. I am so grateful to have their help. So I'm just going to dice these up now in nice squares for meals and put them into my quart jars. So we're just gonna fill up as many jars as these beets will give us. Okay, so now I have all my jars filled up. I ended up with 14 quarts, so that's perfect for my canner. And then I set aside a pot so that I can show you that recipe for supper. In each jar, I'm just going to fill it with water to my 1-inch mark. And then I'm going to put my lid and ring on. Just finger tight, make sure your rim is clean. Isn't that look awesome? I love beets. Okay, so then I'm just gonna get all these ready for my canner and get them going in there. Okay, so I got my canner preheating here and I have 4 cups of water in the bottom. This is my All-American pressure canner. You do whatever your canner recommends you put in there in the bottom. So I'm just gonna get these jars in and going. I'm gonna put 2 layers in here and we're going to can them at 10 pounds pressure for 35 minutes. So I'm gonna get my lid on, match up my arrow with the indent on the side, make sure it's level before I put my knobs up, tighten them like across from each other. And then when there is steam coming out of my vent here for 7 minutes, then I am going to put my gauge on, this guy, at the 10, because we want it at 10 pounds pressure. And then when it starts to rock a bit and there's steam escaping and it's at the 10 pounds pressure on my gauge, then I can time it for 35 minutes. When that's done, I can shut it off. When the pressure is down to 0, I can take my beets out. We'll have shelf-stable beets. Nice vegetable to eat, tons of good health benefits for my pantry. Okay, so it's almost supper time. Kate is making supper for us tonight. Very awesome. She's doing potatoes, white fish in the oven with dill and lemon pepper. And I'm gonna just make these beets for vegetables to show you how to do it. So I have the pot of beets I set aside. So about a quart. If you were doing a quart jar, you could dump out the jar and use that. You don't have to obviously do this recipe. It's just like a way to jazz up your beets a bit. Most of the time we just eat beets out of the jar, heat it up. They're super good like that. You need 2 tablespoons of sugar. I'm actually using this like monk fruit sweetener, but sugar is great too. Whatever you got and like. And you're gonna do 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. You're gonna put in a teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and half a cup of water. And then just whisk that together. You could do like beet juice instead of the water. If you have beet juice from your canned beets or whatever, do that instead. So you just want that sauce to thicken up, and then we'll put our beets in there. Okay, so that sauce is thickening up. So I'm just gonna put my beets in now, give it a stir, and that's it. That's super easy. You're just gonna have your nice kind of a thick sauce to go on your beets. Okay, so supper's all ready. We have our lemon pepper fish cake made, our potatoes, and our beets. So let's give these a try. So good. I love beets so much. Okay, so we're gonna sit down and eat, and I'll show you my canned beets soon when they're done cooling off.
Oh, these. Get these on my lips.
Okay, so I just wanna open this up now. My pressure is down to 0. And I'm gonna show you what the beets look like now that they're all done canning. Okay. That looks awesome. So we'll see you again next time at our next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.